Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
You know what? I want to go over some tips with you now. Let me see. Can you see that? Okay. We got water in here. I got water in here because I want to show you some tips on how to use your HVLP gun. That's really important as well. Okay, let me go over the settings one more time with you. Okay, now I got a regulator on here, which I use. Now I'm going to leave that all the way open. Okay. This is just a manual relay. You can buy these. They're about $7 or $8 and they work great. This button right here, okay, that is your air control, all right? Almost all HVLP guns got them. Almost all of them have that. If they don't, you're going to rely on this thing right here. If you watch real close, okay, I open this up and you can hear the air. This is a dual action spray gun, and what that means is when you pull it one time, it's air, and then 2 times is liquid, okay? So what we're gonna do is we are gonna pull our air and we're gonna adjust the air at the same time. So we pull one time and listen real close. Okay, that right there is approximately 25 pounds, what I just set it at. Okay, okay. And if you look at your spray gun, and a lot of them say it, this one here particularly says set at 22 PSI. Or 20 PSI, I'm sorry. 20 PSI, I need to get me some reading glasses, I guess. All right, so that's about 25 pounds, I would say. Okay, and then if we look at the other side of the gun over here, one more thing, I'm left-handed. Okay, I'm left-handed, all right, that's right, my friend Pete is a southpaw, okay, but all spray guns are made for right-hand use, and the reason I say right-hand use is because you see what I'm saying? Okay, but I use both my hands anyway, you know, back and forth. So once we got our air set at what the manufacturer says, we want to go ahead and set our pattern. So I'm going to open it all the way up, and if you watch close, you can see the pattern, okay? Once again, this is water, all right? But you can see how wide the pattern is. It's all the way up here down to here. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't even see that. Let me back it up here. Okay. The pattern goes all the way up here and way down here, all right? So that's a big pattern. We don't want to spray at that pattern, though, because that type of pattern is used if you're blending paint, or if you're laying the clear on very thick, or if you're using heavy metallic type pearl paint. So what we're going to do for primer, okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our our pattern, we're going to turn it, we're going to close it approximately 3/4 of a turn. Okay, now if you look at it, you can see that I brought the pattern down, but watch when I close it what happens. You can see it getting smaller, okay, all the way to, you see what I'm saying? All right, so we're going to start there, and then we're going to back it up to just about 1/4 of a turn. All guns are going to vary, all right? This particular cheap-ass piece of shit happens to have a very touchy pattern controller, all right? I'm sure the real expensive fucking guns are more precise, but we're using the cheap bastard because that's all we can fucking afford. Okay, so I got it set. That's why I want that set. Now, the situation is the volume. What is volume, my friend Pete? What are we talking about? What do you mean volume? Okay, what volume is how much do I want to come out, okay, where it's going to be enough, all right, and it's also not going to be too much, all right? And that's what this little knob right here is for. We want to go ahead, it's got a locking cap on it, so we're going to open that up all the way so we can adjust it. Okay, and once you get the feel of your gun, you're gonna know just by pulling the trigger if it's set right. Okay, so if we open it up, I'm gonna do it with this hand. If I open it up, what's gonna happen, it's gonna let me pull my trigger back, all right? And it's really gonna lay it down thick, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? When do I wanna use that type of setting? When do I wanna use that type of setting? When you're using 2K primer, let's say, okay, and it's so what's gonna happen is when you got that volume open real big, it's gonna lay it down real thick, all right? If you were painting, let's say, base coat or clear, you're gonna close that up, okay? You're gonna close that up, okay? Probably about halfway, okay? Maybe a little more. Because the more that you have it open, the more that you have your volume open, the thicker it's gonna lay it down. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna give you orange peel, okay? It's gonna orange peel and you're gonna get runs. So play around with So play around with that and get it set where you want it. And most people, okay, most people that find that comfortable setting, they take that lock nut there and then they lock it in place. You see what I'm saying? So then that will never turn, it'll always stay there. What I do, okay, I open it up, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna open it up. And what I do is I use the trigger as a variable volume switch. So if you watch close, I got my air. Now watch real close as I pull that trigger, okay, and I'm barely pulling it, and you see that it's barely coming out. But if I really lay it out, if I hold it all the way, okay, then I'm laying it down, all right? So when you're doing a primer job, okay, it's best to have that open like that and use your trigger as the volume control instead of adjusting that and relying on that only, see? See what I'm saying? Look here, watch. See what I mean? Okay, all right. Learning how to use your HVLP gun is very important when it comes to painting. I get more emails on my friend Pete. Pete, I fucked up, okay? I bought an HVLP gun, what's the settings on it? I did exactly like the directions said, and I'm fucked up. I got runs all over it, I got orange peel. That's because you're not, finding the right combination of your pattern and your volume. Now what really counts the most on a situation like this is your air pressure. You have to have a good air compressor that's going to keep a consistent volume of air that you're setting your gun at. Now, that's how the factory says to set it, okay? The way that I set it, I get it about 45 PSI. 45 PSI, because with more air pushing on it, you're not going to have as much overspray. You're not going to have as much orange peel, I'm sorry. And then what I do is I go ahead and adjust my knob, I adjust it in, because when you raise the air pressure, what's going to happen, it's going to force that paint out even more, okay? And then, if you notice, you can hear the difference. You see the consistency. Now it's not just bubbling out, okay? It's spraying out like it should be. See what I mean? It's a nice, okay, so if I lower it, watch what happens when I lower the air pressure. Do you see what I'm saying? Looky here. You see that? That's with about 1 PSI. This is about 25, okay? And this is about 45. You see the difference there? Okay? The gun itself will internally combust everything together and mix everything up like it's supposed to be as an HVLP gun. This is Pete, my friend Pete, with my brand new $49 spray gun, and I love it. I'm going to use that for primer. I'm going to use that for epoxy primer. I'm going to use that for as much bullshit I can to get by with, all right? Take it easy. We'll see you later. I see there's a dent in my brand new gun. What the hell? Wow. What do you expect for $49? This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. HVLP right here, okay? You see what I'm saying? Right there. That's it. We'll see you later. Take it easy. And even you can paint your own car. Oh, one more thing. After you're done cleaning it out, okay, after you're done cleaning it out, spraying your lacquer thinner and everything, go ahead and open up your volume control and pull that trigger so that lacquer thinner will pour out like that. And what that does, that cleans your tip out very, very well, okay? I'm gonna dump this water out, just like that. And then before I use that again, before I use my spray gun again, what I'll do, I'll run some lacquer thinner through it, so there you go. All right, HVLP lesson from my friend Pete to you. Take it easy. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, everybody's friend Pete. Last chance, Pete. Okay, go back into the fucking videos and see what we're talking about here. All right, it's a fucking nightmare. All right, we're not even done with it yet. We still...
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.